IMLEC 25 is done. Just. So now that we can sit and process what happened, and I'll sit and process the videos of what happened alongside her run, and we'll get to that later. So to kick things off is Peter Waterdropper with his 3.5 starting on the Friday. Let's have a quick look around the site before we start. Most people were camped out in the middle here. IMLEC started on the left, steaming bays in the middle, usual station on the right with footbridge. That engine noise is the 7.25 shuttle they were using to get over the far side for most passengers, and the climb up to the tunnel, one of the nasty points. Here we go.
First run on its way.
His first run up the hill didn't quite work, so as is quite common this weekend, reversing to take a second stab at it, which here he goes. And he's made a lap, although having dropped passengers. Again, this is quite a common IMLEC thing, and especially here this weekend. And from this point on, a pretty model IMLEC performance. Peter certainly knows what he's doing with a 3.5. Andy here, being another recent IMLEC regular, Romley member and Matestone too, probably the oldest engine in the competition.
Yes, up to you when you go. They'll start the stopwatch as soon as you're across the line. Stack loaders here. Derailed in the platform.
I mean, I'd be good for all of this, but it's so far on the centre. The only thing that is fixed is the frame so far. If you're
And he did end up retiring, unfortunately. He derailed a couple of times, which kind of knocked the assurance out of it. It was a good run otherwise though. followed by another 3.5. Which started off quite strong. And as I said, it's quite common at this IMLEC to see engines going in reverse. No, this clip is not reversed. He's reversing to take another run at the long hard climb up to the pond. After what looked like a promising run, John did also end up retiring, unfortunately. The smallest engine in the competition on its first go. Like I said, this is his first go, we'll come back to that. Because of this derailment, he was offered a chance to rerun, which he took up to rerun at the end of the first day.
I know I am slipping, but it just feels...
Hold up a sec. Yeah, the wheels are on.
Putting the international into IMLEC was Callum from Northern Ireland. Not a club I'd heard of before, and quite an interesting take on an Iris. He's made an entry.
Good luck.
Not all went well. Callum did have to retire, but thankfully in the evening after the event he did romp round for a few laps on the trot and had a good run out of it. So hopefully we'll see Callum back to re-enter in later year IMLECs. The first of the 5-inch engines.
Right. 106 is on its way. First of the 5 engines.
Nigel had a good solid run, which was quite reassuring for myself running the following day. And you get many shots up at the pond, but this is the first one. So where if you hear me talking about on the hill up to the pond, this is the summit of the line, about where the engine is there somewhere. It's quite a long way up. It's deceiving. It doesn't look steep at all on the ground, but it really makes the engines work hard. He's now coasting round to the top of the long descent that runs past the IMLEC start point. I was going to take this shot out, but it does give you a very good overview of the site. So you can see the two long hills next to his third track he's on. He's just come through the tunnel. And now as he heads down and round this, what will be quite an eventful corner, over the little bridge, and then he'll pass through what is the normal station, before rounding the bend again past the steaming bays and coming up the long climb. On the right there you can see the approach up to the tunnel and the 7 1/4 shuttle train sitting in the platform. The first of the engines I was going to watch closely now being David Shepherd's Poly 3. Yes, with a tender, so does it make it a 3.5? No, not really. David Shepherd and this Simplex, possibly David Mayall's, or that's a different beast, were my nearest competition for the weekend, comparative wise. Took a strong load, small wheels, should do well. David initially started off quite strong, making the hills and the climb quite easily, not struggling too much, those little wheels giving him a good advantage. All was not to be, however. David did eventually have to retire as well, which was a shame, but it did give me a good indication of loads and where we can come a cropper. This is one of the reasons I don't like running on the Friday. I'll always try and go for a Saturday or Sunday, so you've got a day or two of scoping things out.
You start when you're ready.
You want me to release the brake. Okay? Brakes off. Let's do it. So, starting at 4:34.
Initially I thought this would be one of my near competitions, but I was wrong. This engine was far better than Poly's running at the moment. Maybe in a year or two, if he runs again, this will be fair competition. But this Simplex made it look easy and beat me at the end.
Ben Davis from Fractal is now driving the team.
Fantastic. So he came down here in April for our 3 days.
Well done, James. Well done. Oh, fantastic job, Ben. Well done. Thank you.
That was an absolute cracking run. Well
Yeah.
done. Beautifully done.
Good.
Beautifully done. Right. Now we have to work out a sequence.
To finish off the Friday was Williams' rerun. This was a much better attempt than the first attempt, and as far as I recall, there were no derailments, and he ended up putting in a respectable score for such a small 3.5.
This is Will Parr from Bournemouth, who's running Mona for the rerun. A little bit earlier than expected, but that's good.
Right, that's it for the Friday. The scoreboard is here. Great, so check back in soon once I've finished video 2 for the Saturday. Thanks to Fareham for hosting IMLEC in 2025.